Hi Grace, how you doing today?
Very well. Ready to meet with everybody.
Yeah, well, we've been really busy for a long time, and recently we've not been getting out and doing as much and being as active, and not as much excitement. So you said you wanted to go back to making some movies.
Yes.
And I thought, what a great idea. The timing is perfect. Everything is perfect about that. So today I thought we might talk about an introduction.
Good.
So, how would you say we met?
How do we met? We met in our office. Right?
Where did we meet? We didn't go over anything, right, Grace? Where did we meet? How did we meet?
You better give a little bit draft first before you start.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Speak up. Think about it. How did we meet? Did somebody introduce us?
Well, I try to open up my memory bank.
Yes, I know. It's hard. It was 3 years ago.
I was in the senior center exercise place.
Yes.
And then there was a young boy. He introduced his uncle to me, and his uncle is Mark. That's how we first started. And of course, Mark is so healthy and energetic. He would be a leader, automatic volunteer himself as a leader to help us, the senior, in our exercises, how to improve. And we're getting better.
So that's pretty good. I'm not Tim's uncle, but Tim introduced me to you. He met you at the exercise class.
Yes.
And then you would go for a little bit of breakfast together, right? Share a bagel or something because of your diabetes.
Yes.
And then he would go to school because you started, I think, 6:30 or something, very early.
Yes.
And then he would go to school and you would go about your day. And then he moved away and introduced me to you just before he did.
That's right. You know all the details. Thank you for remembering.
Do you remember that stuff?
Of course, yes, but I cannot present them as fluently as you did. You are a coach.
Do you remember what happened the first time you went to the hospital?
Oh, that day. It was the first meeting that I invited Mark to have supper with me together with the young boy. And then because at that time I ate the wrong food because I was all by myself, and the wrong amount of food caused me some pain. And then I passed out. Fortunately, Mark happened to be there. He was able to, he's knowledgeable in taking care of senior myself. So I was admitted to hospital and then come safe back to life. That's what you see me.
So what that was is that's very good, Grace. What that was is that was a hypoglycemic event. So you took your insulin, but you didn't need enough carbs. It happened to you before. People were worried about it because that could have ended your life, and you're far too wonderful for that to have happened. So you went to the hospital that night.
Yes.
I'm a hockey coach and a hockey trainer, so I'm capable of, not panicking in these situations, right? So what happened?
I was admitted to hospital.
And then the next morning, what happened?
Next morning, I was discharged.
You were discharged, yes.
Yes.
And what did you tell me then when you came home, when I brought you back to your place? What did you say to me?
I need your help to look after me.
Speak up a little bit.
I need your help to look after me. I recognize I am very ignorant, but at least one thing I know for sure. I may not always be this lucky to have somebody knowledgeable as Mark.
You know what? I want you to look in the camera and be very proud of yourself, Grace, because you're one of the strongest people I ever met.
Okay.
What you said to me was, You told me that that was a hypoglycemic event because I didn't know it was. And you said there was a problem with diabetic care and home care. And then you told me you would be willing to stay alive as long as you could continue to contribute. Do you remember?
Yes, of course. I thank you for look, reminding me all the details as if it was in a tape. I appreciate your good memory and your care for me.
Do you remember my answer?
Your answer is you will try your best.
I will do my best, 100%.
Yes. For how long? Quite a number of years.
3 years.
3 years.
So at the time I told you I would do my best.
Yes, as usual.
What was my condition that you didn't know of at that time?
I did not know.
You didn't know then, but you know now, I think.
Oh yes.
What is my condition, my dangerous condition?
Your condition? You have challenges in your heart condition,
My
blood pressure,
heart.
and all that.
My heart, Grace, you're right. So I was supposed to be dying then, and they wanted to do triple heart bypass surgery on me. So I just told you I would do my best, and then I called to try to get you some assisted living or some home care, like some proper. I didn't know you'd already tried it at that point in the beginning, but so that's how it started, right? And then I started taking my plant saps, and you started going. We took into account actually what's called the. We didn't even know about dementia, Grace. We didn't even know about memory and stress, but you've had so much stress, even though you have no vascular dementia, your brain is the same as 2018 and hasn't aged.
I'm lucky you are so knowledgeable. All this information, my knowledge is as a patient, but all the terms and all that, I'm not as expert as you.
They even looked at your heart last year. We were doing lots of walking and stuff, but they even looked at your heart last year, and they said it was the same as 2015. And look at me. I take the implant saps, and I don't look like I need heart surgery today, do I? I exercise, right?
Oh yes.
I can walk pretty good, right? Like, you can walk better than me some days, that's for sure.
I am under your direction and
Well,
guidance.
Well, so with respect to that, let's say, in the beginning, because I'm a coach, I knew all of these things intrinsically.
I'm lucky.
I knew them all intrinsically, and I knew from a couple of different schools of thought that are very top, high end, but a little different in their approach. And my approach put it all together with a one-on-one elder coach, right? Health coach, elder coach, not just health, elder coach. And it really is a coaching job and a trainer, because then you don't panic in situations. I also helped her when she was admitted to the hospital. Remember, Grace, your back was really sore in your leg, and you all thought you were never going to get out of the hospital?
There's never doubt for a second. Your knowledge, your plentiful knowledge about the medical conditions in general and also in my particular case. And your communication with all my doctors in the hospital make me come back to what I am today.
That's why you should hold your head up with pride, Grace, because a lot of people really love you and really
more
work.
people be able to share.
Oh, yes, we want to help a lot of people. That's right, Grace. We want to help 100 million people if we can. Right?
So does you want it. I know that. You always like to help people.
So, we've been doing this, and I guess as far as the results go, because it's been 3 years and we've been doing pretty good, and as far as the actual results go, we have medical documentation that says I take plant saps and marijuana and 81 milligram aspirin, and I don't need triple heart bypass surgery or any other drugs. I also have a birth challenge in my back, which most people die from in their mid-30s. And I did go blind and was dying from the pain at 37. They did it anyway, so I know a little bit about pain and sciatica and stuff, which a coach knows about, right? And so basically, to run through the list, because we're going to make some more videos, and they probably won't be too long, but we're going to give a little synopsis or an overview of each of the items. So, for example, Grace, with the finger dementia method to fix finger dementia, right? To fix dementia, which, by the way, Alzheimer's says the Alzheimer's Society says 39% of all dementia is reversible back to the normal aging process. 14% all the way back to zero, I think. 39% stopped and reversed. And that's because those are caused by the Cleveland Clinic method. We're going to discuss each of these, which are depression, chronic anxiety, stress, and not sleeping properly, right? Any coach knows about those things, right? And any parent should know about those things. So this book and everything, and this course and everything, we can help a lot of people, because even a mom or a dad raising a family, these are good things to understand.
You always think of other people's benefit. It's very kind of you.
Well, and as a coach, you must think of them. You must, if somebody's not getting enough sleep, they're not going to perform, right? The same as a parent should think of it. And you don't want them having anxiety and depression and stress. You want to help alleviate that. That's where my manifesto, and I've had many, many, many kids yell it, do your best, never quit, have fun, comes in, because fun is one of the 3 critical items, right?
Yes.
As a coach, I have to understand you enough to be aware of when you need a kick in the pants or a special treat, right?
It sounds simple, but actually, when it comes to be able to apply it at the time of panic, there's a training from you on the students.
Well, I've been a coach for 30 years now, Grace. I coached hockey and soccer for 25 years. And when COVID came, the good Lord blessed me and gave me you to coach. I guess we went in early 2022, so mid-COVID, something like that. And you were not doing very well at the time, and I got to coach you, and it's been a wonderful experience. So those 4 items there, repeat them one more time. Depression, chronic anxiety, stress, and improper, not enough sleep. Those are from the Cleveland Clinic. They also include the diet and exercise. So then the other ones we're going to talk about, we'll do a little video on each one, are called the finger dementia method. And that would be diet. So you want to make sure your ketone system is turned on, for example. If you're diabetic, you don't want to take too much insulin and eat too much carbs and turn off your ketone system. It was hard to turn it back on, right, Grace?
It's very important information.
Yes. So diet, exercise, very, very important to exercise all the time. I just gave you 2 quick reasons other than lean muscle mass. Mitochondria. So when you have power plants in each of the cells in your body, they're called mitochondria. And they operate like a power plant even when they're not being used. So if you're active, you'll build more power plants so that you can be more active. And then when you're at rest, your resting metabolism will be higher, and you'll naturally be burning more sugars, more carbs, more fats, more proteins, everything even at rest. So you want to exercise for the lean muscle mass and the mitochondrial power plants, but you also want to exercise for the hope molecules. And that's where we blend it with socialization, because we like to go walking where we meet and bump into other people and go to music festivals and stuff, don't we?
Yes, fun, of course.
Fun. You like going to the music festivals?
Of course. Anything fun.
Anything fun. How about when we went to Niagara Falls?
Of course. You have strengthened my health, and then I am able to go along with you to the outdoor activity more often and able to enjoy them too.
You're a lot stronger than when we met, that's for sure, Grace.
Yes,
that's for
you.
sure. But and sharp too. You're like, sometimes, Grace, when you talk to me,
Yeah.
I don't even, because of the connection, um, I don't even really understand sometimes the importance of the words you use until I revisit them later. So I know some people, you sound crazy, just like I sound crazy to some people, probably, right? But I know you sound that way to some people just because you're so brilliant and because of the way you
It's
speak.
very gentle and kind of you to be so careful in using the words to describe my condition. It could be actually more challenging when you first met me.
It was more challenging when I first met you, but it's been a lot of challenging lately. Okay, so let's go back to our list. You're right. But more challenging because of the depression, anxiety, the stress, everything. The last 6 or 7 months. In the beginning, it was more the fact that all your pills were not being taken properly. Your insulin wasn't being taken. You weren't getting exercise. None of it was being followed. Right? It was a bit of a mess. So we fixed it all up, developed some basic habits and everything. So, so to go back to the finger dimension method, which is the other worldwide known method, is diet and exercise and socialization, which we kind of try to mix together, right?
Walking.
We love walking, right?
Yes.
And talking to people and helping people and all of that. And then there's cognitive challenge, which is what this is right here.
Yes,
I talk to you like you're just a normal person, right, Grace?
Thank you for
Because,
your patience.
well, you are a normal person. Holy smoke! But anyway, you're normal, Grace. That's just the way it is. You still anyway. You'd
You
still
try
do more
hard.
in 6 months than.
You try
God bless
hard.
you. You're amazing, Grace. I just don't want to. But anyway, so it's once again diet, exercise, socialization, cognitive challenge, and keep an eye on the heart. So that means don't push them too hard to the point where they have a heart attack, right?
Oh, yes.
Right? The hypertension, right? A lot of people have hypertension too. That's where the marijuana drops actually. And if you see my doctor's letters, that's what prevents my hypertension. And I learned it 24 years ago because of my birth challenge in my back. I almost died from the pain. I had to learn how to survive. I went blind and everything. So, so there's 5 there, 4 on the other side. Up to 39% get better, right? Or fail to get worse. 14% get completely better. And we also became very aware of, and luckily for me, I'm a coach. These are all coaching things, right? A coach understands diet and exercise, socialization, cognitive challenge, right? These are all coaching things.
I'm
Depression, anxiety, stress, right? These are all things that a coach knows.
Yes.
So instead of having 6 different people look after you, you can have one person look after you who can be in touch with your metabolism every hour of the day, basically, because they're with you several times, 5 or 6 times a day. Or even better, Grace, you live, not you, I want her to live with me, but anybody like you could live with a family. It would be very exciting. Or you could live with another lady that's maybe 50 or something, lost her job, got a divorce, who knows, her life isn't going so well, and she's not going to get hired anymore because she's over 50. She's too expensive now, right? So this would be a great match. And then eventually she'd go from being a coach to being a client, right? And we call you a client, not a patient, because you're a client, Grace. You deserve the respect and the service of a client.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So those are all things that coaches know. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was the gentle, persuasive approach.
Oh, yes. You're very good.
Have to be very, very gentle, because people get spooked, especially little old ladies. She's 4 foot, whatever, 95 pounds. How easy to get spooked. Plus, when you're going through all of this type of thing, the symptomology is as if you do have real dementia, and it can turn into real dementia if the stress continues long enough and gets serious enough. But sometimes, and you got to be aware of this, sundowning syndrome, when the sun starts to go down, they will tend to get a little bit angry sometimes. And I think Grace is more aware of this now, aren't you, Grace?
Well, you have to be sensitive to each other.
Yes. Like I had to learn about my back pain making me on the verge of anger all the time.
I also have my challenges.
Right? It would have killed me if I would have just kept getting angry all the time because of the pain. So I had to.
No, you don't horrify me. You don't. You are not that bad. You're very good.
Yeah, but that's
You're
what happens.
patient.
But I had to learn, Grace. I had to be aware. You have to learn your triggers, and you have to learn to be aware so that you don't project your own shortcomings onto other people and your own anger onto other people, right? And luckily for me, I've coached children from 5, 4, 3, all the way up to young men, 21 years of age. Loved every minute of it. Loved every minute of it, Grace. I've got 20. I probably coached close to 1,000 children.
Because you enjoy it. Otherwise, you won't be doing it on such a regular basis.
So that's what we're going to talk about in the next few videos, I guess. And as far as successes go, as I recall, you were going blind, and we stopped it and reversed it, right?
The eye specialists are very thankful to you providing them very detailed information about my background. I won't, as an ordinary old lady, I won't be able to describe this condition, but you are so professional. You can describe my challenges to the eye doctor.
I didn't know in the beginning. They told me when you went there.
You learn fast.
They told me when we went there, but I was using ice packs to cool your eyes down.
I'm better
And
now.
keeping your glucose below 7, I guess. Yeah, and you're better now. Now your eyes are better. That's right. And your memory is, you're better able to.
I can go to school, evening schools, to study more subject matters.
Well, I think you would be able to soon enough, but I think right now, because of the stress and everything, your short-term memory is still not quite there. My own short-term memory isn't that great right now, Grace. Right? That's okay. That's okay. So we stopped you from going blind, and what may have been vascular dementia a few years ago has been stabilized, right? So
Yes.
you're not getting any worse that way at all, according to the CT scans, right?
Yes.
And
Lots of work from
when I
your team.
first met you, you jumped out of my truck and hurt your ankle, had to go to the doctor. The next week you hurt your shoulder getting in, had to go to the doctor. Now you're tough as nails, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Be proud of yourself, Grace. You've achieved a lot. It's okay to speak up.
It's okay.
It's okay to be proud of yourself, Grace. You've done you're trying to help a lot of people,
Well,
and you're doing a very good job of it, even
They
with
can
a lot
call
of
on
external
you.
pressure.
can they? No. If they
So we've done that, and with me, we stopped. I don't need triple heart bypass surgery anymore, right?
I see.
Right?
Right.
And I managed to survive with my back the way it is, somehow. And we fixed your sciatica, your pain in your leg, right?
Oh, of course, yes. You did.
So that's just off the top of my head. But we've had quite a number of successes, Grace.
Lots of hard work from both you and your team.
From everybody, Grace, the doctors that are helping us. Even lately, I feel we have an opportunity in the court system, because I think that the court system might actually be judicious and can see our story for what it really is, and can see that what we're really trying to do.
More people can benefit then.
Yes. Hopefully we can work with them to create a plan for other people like you. And the truth is, everybody can keep their jobs. We can just change them a little bit. And all the people that are working currently in the industry, we're not, but we will save nursing jobs. Nurses won't have to do this job. There'll have to be 1 for 10 patients or something, but they won't have to be going to help them with their, like I do. And they won't need dietitians and all that stuff, right, Grace?
If they did not go that far in deterioration. then they don't have to go through all we went through
Right, that's right. If there's a plan in place and another,
earlier.
yeah. So, for example, if I call a crisis worker because you're having a sundowning symptom, because I didn't know what that was. But every person who lives with somebody like you or takes you should understand what that is and be prepared for it and be trained for it and everything,
Yes.
right? And you didn't know what it was when it was happening before, right?
Yeah.
So, now see, I'm forgetting what we were talking about. But you've managed it really, really well now.
You educate, you bring us,
Oh yeah, so they need to teach people that.
yes.
So for example, when somebody like you first goes to live with a family per se, or with another lady or something,
Yes.
you might have a sundowning incident, or the client might, right? And we'll call them a client, not a patient, a client. And that client will have a number to call, and it'll be the crisis center, not the police, not 911. And I love the nursing. We call Ontario Nursing a few times. They're the best. They are the best so far in my experience. I really like calling them. And then if the crisis person's trained and they're your one-on-one contact, then if you go to live with a new woman or a new family and you have a bad night, you can phone that person, and instead of taking you to a hospital, they can be your friend,
Very
right?
good
Your
arrangement.
crisis worker is your friend,
Yes.
and you talk to the same crisis worker, right? And that way they get to know you and they can help you calm down and say, Grace, maybe the other person is trying to help you. Maybe what's the problem? What's the problem, right? Like that. And they can use a gentle persuasion approach and maybe help you to take your insulin or to eat your food or whatever it might be that got triggered at that moment, right?
You say your information is very helpful, but in plentiful. Is there a way that a number that the people, the audience can contact your office or somebody?
Oh, they can go to our website, theevolutionofmedicine.com.
So
They can even get a free download book there, Grace, that I put on yesterday, I think.
Okay.
It could be better, but, at least there's something there. And they can buy some products there. They can actually buy the full-length book, which really is in rough copy right now. Has to be completed. But I'm hoping to put it together as a course, a coaching course, so people can look after people like you.
Very good idea.
And some segments of it could be purchased by the banking industry, for example, the gentle persuasion, so they could understand it better when people like you come in. Because, you know what, even if they try to help you, they may not fully understand your situation, right?
Of course.
So they the managers need to have a small course, especially with the aging population, in how to deal with the aging population. The police could also have a little course on how to deal with the aging population. Just merely by being 200, 220 pounds with a big bulletproof vest and everything hanging, that's intimidating to a 4'10", 95-pound woman, right? So even if you don't intend to be, it is, especially by that age, you're going to have some PTSD and everything else, right? It's not rocket science. So everybody should learn about how to talk to the elderly.
So would you tell everybody, or
Speak up.
Would you please use this opportunity to let us know where the information is available or how?
Yeah, I just said they can go to our website and they can find it, and I guess this is going to be connected to our website, I think. I'm not
Your
that
information
technically
is
savvy.
very useful. However, it's a bit too much to remember in one instance.
Yes.
So having a
Yes.
flyer would help.
Are you happy?
Yes. I am better now.
Yeah, you're much, much better now.
Yes.
Hey, Grace. Much, much better
Yes.
now. So what would you like to see happen in the long term? We didn't talk about this either, right? Between you and myself, I mean.
Educational.
Between you and myself, I mean, Grace. What would you like to see happen in the long term?
Well, what you are doing can become a permanent project by you with the government, in partnership with the government, the medicine. So the information is very useful for anybody who have similar situation. It's not possible, so knowledgeable. However, it's impossible to remember them all. So if you have booklets or flyers available when we need it, will be a very useful project.
Yes.
That you can work with the government to provide us with current information.
Grace used to be an officer for consumer and commercial relations, and even though she's retired for many years and has a little bit of memory issues, which look like they're getting better, right? She still hasn't retired in her mind.
Yeah.
And she's also a fraud examiner, so she can ask the same question in at least 100 ways. Hey, Grace?
Yes, I have been working for the government for the Ontario government for a long time. I feel very proud to be able to work and serve all our friends in Ontario. I hope I can continue with Mark's knowledge, plentiful knowledge, and my enthusiasm to help our friends in Ontario.
Everywhere, Grace.
Everywhere.
We want to just export this because they're working all around the world.
Yes.
Trying to solve how to help people with dementia,
Yes.
trying to solve how to help people with diabetes.
Also, I'd like to use this opportunity to invite any one of you who have knowledge and information to share with us. Please contact Mark so he will expand his bank of knowledge
There you go.
with all of us.
There you go. So on that note, everybody, have a fantastic day. And look at how great Grace looks. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you.